Hello IP6, welcome to Social English Online. I hope you guys are all happy, healthy, and ready to learn. Okay, let's dive in. Today we're going to be talking about climate. Okay, you guys all know what weather is. Weather is it raining? Is it snowing? Is it sunny? Okay, climate is just weather but over a long period of time. Okay, that's what we're going to learn about today. But first, we have a quick announcement. The environmental project that was assigned before the break is now due during the first social period after you have returned to school. Okay, so that project where I asked you to choose a product and then redesign it to make it more sustainable, that will be due when you guys return to school, okay? You do not need to submit that as long as we are doing online lessons. Okay, let's move on. We've got some vocabulary, as usual. The first is proximity, which means nearness in space or time, okay? Now, before I give you guys an example, I want you guys to think of your own examples. So, the best thing to do is pause the video, think of an example, and then after you've thought of a good example, you can start the video again, okay? So, one example of proximity would be there are many 7-Elevens in close proximity to our school. Okay, that would just mean that there are many 7-Elevens that are close to our school. So in close proximity means the nearness in space is close. Okay, so that's proximity. Our next word, prevail. This one has two meanings. The first is to defeat an opponent. And the second is to be usual, common, or popular. So prevail, as in defeat an opponent. Pause the video, think of your own. Okay, now I'm going to say prevail would be, I have prevailed against my enemy in Counter-Strike. That would just mean that I won in Counter-Strike, okay? So that one's pretty easy. That's how we usually hear the word prevail. The second, to be usual, common, or popular. This one we're going to use today. And we're going to be talking about prevailing wind direction. So what that would just mean is the usual wind direction, prevailing wind direction. Okay? Next is approximately. I'm sure many of you know this one, but if you don't, it's time to learn. Okay? So this means almost correct or exact. Some synonyms are about, around, or roughly. So think of a couple examples, pause the video, when you're ready, restart. Okay, for instance, approximately, I'm going to say it is approximately 3 o'clock. That would mean maybe it's 2:57, maybe it's 3:03, but if I say it's approximately 3 o'clock, that would mean it's almost 3 o'clock. Okay? Now, at this point, you guys can read the book or you can follow along with me, okay? So I'm going to read from your book in the slides. You guys can watch the video and listen, or you can just read on your own from pages 125, this one here, climate, page 125, through page 126, okay? So I'm going to read that for you guys. You guys can follow along with the video, or you can just read that on your own. After that, there's nothing else that you guys need to know. The only homework right now is to keep working on your environmental projects, okay? So I'm going to continue. I'm going to read everything so that you guys can hear it. I might explain a few things here and there. Other than that, you guys can read the book on your own, or you guys can watch and listen as I read. So the following factors influence climate, and this is starting on page 125. The following factors influence climate. The first is latitude position. As Thailand is located near the equator, the climate is hot and humid. Okay, so our latitude, that means going from the equator up to the North Pole, or down to the South Pole. The closer to the equator you get, the hotter things are going to be. That's because the equator tends to get more sun than other places. Next, proximity to the sea. And again, remember that word proximity, that means nearness or closeness to the sea. So the land near the sea has high humidity and heavy rain. Humidity means the moisture or the water in the air. So places that are closer to the sea are going to have heavier rain. 3, prevailing wind direction. And we talked about prevailing already. That means the usual wind direction. So Thailand is influenced by the northeast monsoon from China and the southwest monsoon from the Indian Ocean. 4, height above sea level. So the higher we go from sea level, the colder it becomes. And think about that for a second. Why do you guys think that is? That the higher you go, the colder it becomes. You guys can pause the video and think about it, or just let me tell you, okay? So the reason for that is air pressure. The higher you go, the less that gravity is pulling air down and the less air that is on top of you. So the air pressure, the higher you go, up, getting closer to space, it becomes less and less, which means that the air is going to be cooler and cooler. Number 5, influence of cyclones. Thailand is influenced by depression, tropical storms, and typhoons. 6, mountain ranges. Tanao Sri and Tanon Tongchai, hopefully I'm saying that correct, mountain ranges obstruct, that means block, the southwest monsoon. Therefore, there is less rain in some areas such as Kanchanaburi and Tak province. So the clouds and the water and the rain that comes from the ocean, if there's a mountain range blocking that, then the landscape is going to have a lot less rain. My hometown is actually like that. All right. 2, temperature. Thailand is situated near the equator in the northern hemisphere, with sunshine all year. The weather is quite different in each region. For example, the northern region has the lowest temperature because it is located in the mountain ranges and is influenced by the southwest monsoon. Can you guys think of another reason that we just talked about why the northern region is also going to have the lowest temperature? So here it says because it is located in the mountain ranges and influenced by the southwest monsoon, but there's another reason, and that was stated in the last slide. And that is because it has a higher latitude. It's further away from the equator, okay? So hopefully you guys got that. 3, rainfall. The level of rainfall depends on proximity to the sea. Again, that means nearness to the sea. Prevailing wind direction, which means the usual wind direction. Mountains and cyclones. The central part of the northern region, the central region, the eastern region, and the western part of the northeastern region, located in the rain shadow area, have small amounts of rainfall. In the southern region, there is rainfall all year, except in the hot season. And here's an interesting term, rain shadow. Who has an idea? What is rain shadow? Okay, think about it for a second, and I'll tell you guys. Rain shadow is basically the area on the other side of a mountain range that gets less rain, right? So if you're outside and you take your hand and put it under the sun, there's going to be a shadow under your hand, right? It's kind of the same principle with rain. If there's a mountain range and the rain is coming on this side, there's not going to be any rain on the other side, okay? Let's go to slide 4. Season. The meteorological department has divided Thailand into 2 parts. The upper part is provinces located north of Phetchaburi province, and the lowest part is the provinces located south of Phetchaburi to Narathiwat province. The season of the upper and lower part are different as follows. Okay, and the next 2 slides will tell us about the upper and lower parts. The upper part has 3 seasons. Remember, that's above Phetchaburi. Right? So Bangkok, where are we? Are we in the upper part or the lower part? I think you guys got it. We are above Phetchaburi, therefore we are in the upper part. So this is Bangkok. Here we have 3 seasons. 1, the hot season, begins from February to April, approximately 3 months. The weather is very hot in every region in Thailand. Okay, and again, that word approximately, we're going to see that a lot. That means almost correct, or almost exactly 3 months, but not quite. It could be 2.5 or 3.5 months. Okay? The rainy season begins from May to October and is approximately 5 to 6 months. The heavy rain is influenced by the southwest monsoon from the Indian Ocean near the Andaman Sea. The cold season begins from November to January, or the middle of February, and is approximately 3 months. The cold and dry weather are influenced by the northeast monsoon from China. Okay, and the lower part has 2 seasons. The rainy season begins from the middle of May to the middle of December, approximately 7 months, or nearly 7 months. Heavy downpours occur due to the influences of the southwest monsoon from the Indian Ocean near the Andaman Sea and the northeast monsoon from China. The hot season begins from the middle of December to the middle of May, approximately 5 months. Okay, that is all that I have for you guys today. Keep working on your projects, and I will see you guys next week. Or rather, you guys will see me next week. Okay, goodbye and good luck.